Did I already do it?
Yep.
No,
Yeah, you are.
I am. Okay. I
Good
hope it,
job.
I hope it, no, I am recording. Hey, everybody, back here with Veterans Achieve Business Systems. Um, Today I have my partner in crime, as some would say, Sonja Budreau. I have to tell you, I met Sonja about 18 months ago, and she came up to me. She was at a conference that we were doing in Denver called Achieve Systems. And she gave me, and hopefully you can see this, she gave me this star right here. Sonia is part of a group that she retires U.S. flags, uh, takes the embroidered stars, and hands them out to people. And there's a little saying in it. It says, I am part of our American flag that has flown over the USA. I can no longer fly. The sun and wind cause me to become tattered and torn. Please carry me as a reminder that you are not forgotten. And it's part of a nonprofit called Stars for Our Troops. Um, First of all, it meant a lot to me that she did that. Since then, I've actually met the founder of the group who I'm doing stuff with, but the initial contact with Sonia and Val, I think that was the same show I met you at. It's just deepened my relationship with them so much because of what I would refer to as Americanism. Some would say patriotism, thanking those that have served our communities and our country. And I'm really excited. Sonia's been working on her book, which you see the cover there on her background, and her course reaching out to veterans. The interesting part about Sonia, for me, is she was not a veteran herself. Her uncle was in the military during Vietnam, lost his life, and he was very close with her. She was very close with him when she was young. And she has built her whole mission statement in honor of her uncle. Sonia, I'm gonna let you take this over. You know me, I'll probably interject stuff along the way, but I'm really excited to hear what you have to share with us today. Thank you.
Absolutely. Let me see if okay. Well, first of all, Mac, you about made me cry. Thank you for a wonderful introduction. It's a pleasure to know you and be a part of your team or part of this veterans group that we're in. Um, and and also my uncle, he died after I was born, so I was very young, and I don't really remember him that much. But the first time I actually met him was 18 years old. My class went on our senior trip to Washington D.C., New York City, and Gettysburg. While I was in Washington D.C., I had the opportunity to go to the Vietnam Veterans Memorial Wall. And so I was really excited. You know, they have this book. You can go look up your family member's name. I looked his name up. I walked down to the panel where he was at. And I saw his name right in front of me. And, they give you a piece of paper where you can rub their name off. And I was doing that. But before I did, I laid my hand on his name and I talked to him and I prayed and I felt him there. I felt his presence. And so that is when I made a promise to him that whatever I did in my life, I was going to help heroes that made it home be their own hero and soar to success. And so that has been my journey. Um, Mac, you made me emotional. Go ahead.
No, I've just saying my praise. Um,
Um, I
for
need to
anyone that has not
share
been,
my screen.
Yeah, I
If you,
will. Talking about the wall, um, I lost a cousin during the Tet Offensive that's on there. What's interesting, there is the only thing I can describe it is an air. You walk in on one end and you just become enveloped in the atmosphere. And you have all the big ugly guys like me down there, and we all have tears coming down our cheeks. And that anybody that has not never had the opportunity, I mean, there's a lot of cool things in DC, but the wall will put you into a perspective of recognizing that you have to honor those that made everything we have possible. Sonja, go ahead.
uh, thank you. Well, welcome everybody. Again, I am going to walk you through today um, the Soar Beyond the Uniform, the AI business blueprint for building income and legacy. And I have one question before I begin to ask you, if you can put in the chat. Are you building a business or just another job? Or let me ask you this. How many of you are working in your business, but revenue still inconsistent? Maybe jump to, I've got trying to multitask here. Let's see. Meeting chat here. Okay, so yeah, building a business, Frank or Mac, and then building a business and legacy. Great. So that tells me there's two in this room that are really feel confident they're on the right track and their results are producing that. And so, and Steve and Erica building a business revenue that's consistent. Well, today I want to show you um, how I have a system that I worked with someone to help veterans and solopreneurs to um, build consistent revenue, build clear offers. And instead of manual marketing, where we spent hours and hours of our time in creating all of our marketing for our content, outreach, anything that we have that we need to advertise for a business or to attract the right target client. And so, then I'm not sure how long AI has been around, but then I discovered AI probably 5 or 6 years ago, and I've been using it pretty consistently for my own business. But then I started using it with some veterans that I know. And so, um, that one of the things I've noticed when veterans get out of the military and they're on their journey, their mission has not stopped. It's just pivoted. They're on a new mission. And one of the things that they struggle with is, who are they now? What's their identity? You know, what do they have to offer to the civilian world? And a lot of them have trouble figuring that out. And their mindset, the shift to from military to being a civilian, it might take years. Some can adapt pretty quickly, but they might be going through the motions. But in their mind, are they really there? You know, um, one of uh, one of the veterans that I know that you guys might know is Nathan Walker. He said it took him 8 years to finally feel like he had arrived to the civilian world. He didn't know who he was. He lost his identity. And so, as a, you know, business owner, when you're shifting from even an employee to an employer or a solopreneur or entrepreneur, you have to shift your mindset that you're not an employee anymore. You're a business owner. and helping people transition those skills into their business is one of the things that I do. And um, you know, it's like, we already have veterans already have the discipline. They've already been taught how to execute under pressure consistently and um, with authority and honor, and they know how to execute. They're always thinking about their mission, and they're very resourceful because they have been taught everything they know, and they know it cold. So if something happens, they know how to react. And leadership. A lot of veterans that I have met have discounted their leadership. They don't really feel like they're a leader in the civilian world now. And in the military, yes. And so that's one of the things that I have really seen is it's like they're in the shadow of their self, of being um, who they really could be. But that's when, you know, you veterans build their core group around them and help them recognize, how they can validate, you know, um, their business, how they can get on track with, like taking their idea to income. And so that is what I want to really talk about today is how to take your idea to income, and how to validate your demand, finding your target market and your audience out there that will pay for what you offer. And then, whether you have products or services, you have to create an offer. Do you have a clear offer that is where your clients have to, they have to buy it? It's like they have the fear of missing out if they don't, because it's so good that what you're offering. And so having multiple offers may be the same product or service. And then how you can scale your business and grow your revenue and even have multiple streams of revenue. Let's see. Okay. Sorry about that. Trying to figure out the technology on my own computer. How's that? And so, why AI? First of all, give me a show of hands. How many in the room use AI or are familiar with AI? Awesome. Awesome. And so, AI is a force multiplier that it's like we have been waiting for. I can remember the days when I started my business 7 years ago that I would get up and I'd work from 7, 8 a.m. to 2 a.m. because I had all these things as a business owner I was trying to do. And I didn't have AI. And so I built everything out from scratch. And I'm like, now that, AI can help you build out an offer in minutes versus maybe taking you hours or weeks to build out. And that's what I have noticed that has helped give me time back in my life. And the veterans and business owners I have helped, it's helped give them time back in their life so they can focus more on making that revenue and getting those clients. And so one of the things that, as you have used AI, um, you can go out there and you can get data faster, and you can go through it and you can figure out exactly what your target audience needs and what their pains are and how you can help solve their problem. And so when you find out all those things and you validate this demand that they have a need for, now you can understand your buyers and build out that target avatar or buyer persona, um, or client profile, whatever you might call it, that they're all one and the same. And so then when you have these information, you're stacking your information. So now you're able to design your offers. And when you design your offers, then things are going to start moving for you because you have multiple ways that your clients can work with you. right now, how many of you have multiple offers or multiple products or services that you offer? Okay, good. And so then, this helps you plan your revenue. So, like if you wanted to have a six-figure year, you can go back to each month and figure out, okay, this is how many talks I need to give, or this is how many clients I need to get to coach, or this clients I need to do my course or sign up for my course or do a boot camp or whatever it may be. Um, and then, um, and so then this here helps you model your revenue. I call it my financial forecasting. I do a lot of regression analysis to help project my income. And then that way, another benefit AI has is it helps you build everything faster, your content, your scripts, your funnels, your frameworks, with all these tools. But one thing I'll caution you, AI does not replace you. You still need to be authentic, show up as yourself, and your AI is helping you build out who you are in your business. And today I would like to talk to you about meet Howard J. Martin II. He is a U.S. Army veteran, a pastor, a coach, and a mental health liaison in Dallas, Texas. And I have been working with Howard since 2021. And the first time he contacted me, he was in dire need, of a resume. And I did a lot of the professional branding and resumes was part of the package that I worked with him on. And he was so lost. He had so many great ideas, but he did not know how to proceed and what to do. So he thought, well, I'll just get a resume. I'll get, maybe that'll help me. And I discovered that he wanted to be a coach. So a year later, I certified him. I certify life coaches. So he went through my program, and it was such a joy to get to know him and help him at that time define what kind of clients he wanted to work with and help him build out his coaching model, which was soul to soul coaching. But that did not really come about for 4 years. So we had done masterminds and all kinds of meetings together, but I wasn't using AI really at all. And so last year, he flew up to my house. I built this boot camp out for him. And I said, Howard, we're going to help you get clarity on your passion, your purpose, and help you achieve your prosperity and make that prosperity plan happen. And so we created this AI business blueprint. And at the time, I didn't know how it would help him in his business because he was very technology challenged. He wanted to write every single thing down, and and uh, and so it was very time consuming. But why I'm saying that is you don't have to know technology because anybody can do this. And so one of the things in those 4 days, what we accomplished was I helped him build out his niche, a specified area that he wanted to work in because he was all over the place. His target market, helped him complete his buyer avatar, client profile. And he had no idea exactly because he was wanting to work with all these different groups. And then, as a veteran, when you start business, you might be the same way all over the place. Like, well, I want to help this person. I want to help this person. Well, the more that you drill in on the type of client that is the best suited for what you offer, that's going to help you get in the game. And when you get in the game, you start building, then you can add on layers and add those other clients in. And so then we helped, with the structured offer ladder and then the revenue model, financial map. And so how we did this is one of the things that, how many of you use Amazon? Okay. All right. So there's this beautiful thing. Amazon has so many books, so much data right there for us. And how many of you read a client review or book review from one of the books? Okay. And so all of that data right there tells you what the buyer wants, likes, doesn't like. And so I helped Howard. The first thing that we do is we help you identify your keywords for your business, and what are the areas of expertise that you want to know more about. So we went onto Amazon. I had to make a list of Black parenting because he wanted to create some kind of program to help um, raise Black king and queens, because there's so many in the inner city area that are really lost, and he really wants to start a program to help with Black parenting. And with him being a mental health liaison in Dallas County, he sees all of the people from the courts that have been brought in that need to be committed to mental health um, facility, or just need resources to get help. And so he's seen a lot of families fall apart. And so he's seen a lot of children who don't get the parenting that they need. And so that's one of his passions. And so through this, we made a list, and then we researched books. And from those books, then we pulled the reviews of what those readers liked or didn't like. And so from that data, we built his AI machine, his AI blueprint. And so then from there, we started going on and completing, who with a deep psychographic profile we built from that real market data. And we were using the language that the clients use. And so that way, it was going to be much more real and authentic to now start going into building out his programs, even a course or a book. You could use this framework for many different things, but I'm just giving you what we did with Howard. And so from that, we were able to start building out his programs. He has a podcast, My Brother's Keeper, and it's for young Black men up to Black men in his area or global. Since it's on a podcast, and he's really built his following. And then from that, a lot of us, when we go into business, we think, okay, I'm gonna do X, Y, Z, and I'm gonna make money from that. Well, if you put all your eggs in one basket and you only have one thing that you can make revenue from, and you're not making any revenue, then that's where inconsistency comes in, because you don't know where the next dollar is going to be coming in. And so helping build out your revenue model and financial roadmap is really important. And, every business I have ever been in, or business group I have been a part of, I have heard revenue model, multiple revenue streams, so much in my life, especially as you shift from a business owner, a employee to a business owner, or from a veteran to a business owner. There's all these terms that you're learning. And when they finally sink in, you're seeing the results, it's like light bulbs are going off. Here's, oh, I can make money doing this, or I can offer this service, or I can, make this product and do this. And so it gets really exciting, because when you start seeing different ways you can make revenue, it's really exciting. And, and that means you're helping more people. And so back to Howard, his legacy was to serve a large, with his heart. He's got a servant heart, and his gifts and his expertise. And so from that research that we did, we built out his program for effective Black parenting. And it was designed to raise resilient kings and queens. And I just love the way he put that because um, parenting our kids in our country are really struggling. And so the more parents we have engaged and tuned in to help raise their kids, even better. But anyhow, he didn't leave with ideas in those 4 days that he was here. We went through a 33 prompt AI business strategy system that just blew his mind, my mind, and I built it out for my own business, but I was just like, wow, I need to share this with so many other people. But I sat on it for over a year because I didn't have the clarity myself because I wasn't sure how powerful it was. Well, then recently, now Howard is preaching, he's got a nice building he lives in, and on the bottom floor, there's a space that is open like a ballroom. And he started his own church, and he's building out this Black parenting. He's having classes, and his podcast is going well. And hopefully he wants to replace his day job by getting out of being a mental health counselor. But it has really made him come alive. And it took me 5 years to get him to this point. And it's like if I knew what I know now, I could have helped him better then, if that makes sense. How many of you felt like that? If you knew what you knew now, you could tell your younger self. Yeah. And so the uh, the AI business blueprint, you know, anytime we're building our business, we want to make sure we have clarity with our market. We know what we're going to be delivering to our clients and what our pricing is. With pricing for different products and services, they're all over the place. And so, how do you know what you're offering is priced right? And so, research and that is, takes time. And then the financial modeling, when you're, the old days, we had an Excel spreadsheet, we had all of our accounting, the cost of goods sold, the balance sheet, all these things that you do as a business to balance your books and all this. But, we're not really taught how to do the financial planning for a business for revenue streams. And I mean, I have an MBA in marketing, and I learned some of this, but we didn't have any of the AI. And so, um, how many of you like to make more money each year? More? Yeah, me too. How many of you like to have a more consistent, predictable income each month? Yeah, me too. And so out of these systems, the one thing that I really liked is automation, you know, and that that's really become a buzzword. How can you automate your SOPs, your standard operating procedures? Um, where's, I think Jim left. Okay, it's like, with him, he's got a manufacturing business, makes all these products. He's got to have um, systems in place. And do any of you have like a business where you do products where you have to have all your systems in order so that way you can operations? Okay. So and as a service provider, you have to have, things in place to be able to function to, get to your month. And as a solopreneur, like I was telling you earlier, I was in my beginning days working so many hours. And if I looked at how many hours I worked a week, I probably only made $1 an hour. It was ridiculous how many hours. And so, and I had several systems in place, but most solopreneurs only have like 3 to 5, and so this system has over 30 systems to help put in place for a business owner. And then nowadays there's a lot of ways that when you build your business, how many you get referrals for, that's like a boutique model. All of my clients that I've received in the last couple of years have all been referrals, and that has been a blessing because going out and getting leads every day. There's so many different ways you can go out and get leads. How you can, design a system to get, your sales. But do you have a conversion system in place so when you do get someone on the phone to convert a sale? And Mac, I know you have been in sales your whole life, and so you probably are the master of converting customers into clients. But anyhow, and so for time wise, let me move along. I think this is a main thing here is have a vision every day. Know what you're shooting for, what you're working for, and what you're passionate about. So that way you can consistently execute at the highest level, and have your non-negotiables, like take your daily walks, or look at what you're putting in your body. Makes being a healthy for your business is really important, because if you're not healthy, you're not able to work your business, then you're not making any money. But if you can create multiple revenue streams where you can scale back and work less hours but produce more, that is, what's ideal. This here is about the AI business blueprint. I'm providing you today. I have a a tool. It's Let me see if I can just share it here. Let me stop sharing my screen. Stop. Exit here. Because basically, I'm gonna put it in the chat here. It's a business clarity scorecard. Let me see. Give me just a second.
And while you're looking for that, I want to let you listen. Did you put your information? There's my mind's blown, Sonia. There's so much information here. And even though I do this every day, there's still things I couldn't follow fast enough with all that you were putting out. Did it, do you like, do you offer an initial discovery call interview to uh, form some sort of diagnostic so somebody knows how to identify all these different areas? I mean,
Absolutely. Yeah,
how,
that was what
how
I
do
was
you
gonna.
do? Did you put that information in the chat um, so that people can schedule time with you?
Yes.
And I want to open it up. You know, we all need guidance, I guess, is the thing. We don't know what we don't know, and and how do we identify it to the extent of which area? I remember the graphic with the 30 mapped out areas. Do I need all 30? Do I need 10? Do I need 20? Is that something that when you're interviewing one-on-one that you help to identify those areas?
Yeah. What I do is on my strategy call, if they sign up, I have one thing that I built out today for this group is um, it's a boot camp, an AI business blueprint boot camp, where in that boot camp, I help you identify your niche using AI, help you do your target research and gather that data. So that way you know what you can really truly build at that target avatar. And once you build that out, then we go into building your offer ladder. Like we discuss the services or products you offer, and then, what's your low point, midpoint, high point. And so that way you can, like this, what I'm offering here, this business blueprint, it's what they call a lead magnet. and it helps. It's low entry and it's generally free, and so that way you can provide something of value to potential clients or colleagues that need help, and then that way you're helping them get started on the right track. And in this blueprint is a scorecard, a business clarity scorecard on um, let me get it. I have it my so let's first just I put it in the chat,
Okay.
and it's the well, I don't have
And everybody should save the
there.
chat. Um,
So does everybody have this in the chat? Can you see it in the chat? Thumbs up. I got one from Steve. Val, do you have yours? Maggie?
I'm not,
Okay. And
but I see
Val,
the chat, so I'll go back up and look.
I can email it to you all directly or email to Mac. You can send it all
Yeah,
out to you guys.
that would be terrific. That way, because well, those of us that are on this live right now, we most of us know each other and that, but for the people that are seeing the recording either on the Achieve Systems YouTube channel or on the Veterans Achieve Business Systems YouTube channel, uh, make sure that you reach out to me and I'll share the information. So, Sonja, if you'd make sure. The other thing I wanted to ask, are you taking orders on your book yet?
I am. I have well, what I'm doing is getting everybody's information so I can put them on my book alert list so I can send out, let them know when my book will be available on Amazon. I do have a pre-order through my own website that I can send out. I didn't even think about that. Thanks, Mac.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I would like to do it. And one of the things that I've seen since we started this mission statement uh, about a year ago is there is crossover. That doesn't mean
Mhm.
that we're competing with each other. It's that the stuff that's crossing over needs to be identified because it's probably more important. Not that the other items are not important, but if we're all saying, hey, this is what I've identified, hey, I've got an answer for it, or I talk to somebody, I go to somebody like Val and talk about stories and making sure the history of the story stays alive. I
Mhm.
always, and Val and I have talked about this, I always think of, hundreds of years ago when uh, the different tribes and the medicine man or the chief would tell the stories to the young boys coming up and how they were going to be warriors and hunters and gatherers and providers. Uh, and you can take that to any tribe, not just American Indians. I think, I'm really tied
Mhm.
into Celts, Happy St. Patrick's Day, and Viking stories. It's always, since I was a young boy, I was always a big part of that. And that's what I, enjoy knowing Val because she's bringing that part that I'm already interested in and helping me get the story. Uh, and I kind of digress. Sorry, I went off like that. But uh, I would like to know more about identifying the key points. And maybe it's all 30 I need. I
Mhm.
don't know until I have that conversation with you. We're all here trying to build business. That's the main focus for the veterans group is how do we take those that have served us and help them succeed in their own enterprise. And it's amazing to me when I start communication uh, with folks, some of them have no desire. Sorry.
Yeah.
And others they're all about what can I learn? How can I get a little bit more? Showing up is a big part of it, but knowing who you can have that conversation with and know that if we're talking to you and we're putting you uh, within our visibility chart, it's that we've already vetted you. We know that you're honest and sincere and that you care about what you're doing. Is not We all want to make a nickel, but you're not doing it just to make the nickel. You're actually trying to provide the help. And for those of us that are believers, we know that comes back to us in a different way. So, anybody else
Yeah.
that has any other questions, comments, thoughts?
I have a few more things I want to add.
Oh, okay, let's do it because I would like to end this in 6 minutes
Okay,
to stay on
perfect.
schedule.
So the AI business blueprint starter kit that I built for you to also answer your question back. It's a business clarity scorecard where you can assess yourself in 8 areas of your business, like your niche clarity, your buyer avatar, your offer structure, your market demand for your product and service, your revenue model, your messaging, your sales system, and content and visibility. And so when you go through and rate yourself on this, there's a scale at the bottom. 32 to 40 is a strong foundation. You have solid clarity, but maybe you still need a little help. 20 to 31, you have gaps in your business to address. And that would be ideal to go into the boot camp that I have created for you guys. And then if you're below 20, then you need my boot camp, and I have a 10-week accelerator course that I'm building out too. And so I would love to have a cohort for that. And so I can definitely talk to you on a one-on-one strategy call about that more in depth. But the boot camp that I have today for you guys is normally it's $497, and I'd like to offer it to you guys for $297, and that's 4-hour intensive boot camp. So what we would do is when we meet one-on-one, we're going to go through and we're going to do some prep work for that intensive boot camp. We're going to look at your target market, your products and services you offer, and who is your ideal client and what you want to build. So we're going to get those keywords. And then we're going to go to Amazon, and I'm going to show you how you can get all that data. And then when we start doing that 33 prompt system, we'll do like the top maybe 5 to 7 prompts, because it takes a long time to go through all this at one sitting. So in the 4-hour intensive boot camp, it's going to help you get niche clarity. It's going to help you define your ideal client with the language that your clients use, build your offer ladder, and then help you map out your revenue model for 90 days up to 12 months. And so, for you that's 297. I have my QR code here. It's also my calendly.com, Coach Sonja Budreau /clarity call. I put it in the chat. Please reach out to me if you'd like to find out more about this boot camp, and also the 10-week program. And then again, Mac mentioned my book. It's the Veterans Blueprint to Reclaiming Purpose Beyond the Uniform. I also put my email, Sonja Budreau at coachsonjabudreau.com, in the chat. And email me and put book list in the subject line, and I'll get you on my book list, because I'm creating a list of interested parties that might want to buy my book. So that way, when I get ready to release it on Amazon, I hopefully can get on the Amazon bestsellers list. Who knows? That would be a lovely a goal to accomplish. And then one more announcement. Chuck and I, as some of you know, we are the Achieve Business Explosion Conference leaders for Tampa. And we just finished our first conference, and we had a really great turnout, but we have announcements for next year. We're going to be having our conference on February 5th and 6th of 2027, the same hotel, Embassy Suites. and it's not on Super Bowl weekend. It's not on Valentine's Day weekend. So we should have hopefully a lot more people attend. So with that, if anybody has any questions, you know, we have a few minutes left. But if you do have questions, you can definitely reach out to me, and I'd love to have a chat with you.
Well, everybody, I really appreciate you coming out. If you don't have Sonja's contact information, reach out to me. I'll get it to you. I highly recommend um, her heart, which is, a lot of fluff. Some people don't like fluff, but what I've recognized in the 18 months I've known her that it's just not a shirt that she wears. It really is her heart, and I truly feel blessed that she and I are walking on this path together. Val, if you can stay on, we'll talk after this. I want to thank everybody. I'm going to stop the recorder. Again,